Hello, this is the Private Investigator Experience podcast, and I'm your host, Bill Little. I own West Coast Detectives International, headquartered in that famous city, Los Angeles, since 1922. We're 103 years old, and I'm very concerned about that city of Los Angeles right now. I'm on this channel. We look at the cases in life of a PI, and also look at situations going on around us, nationally and internationally, that could affect us. And right now, there's a crime situation affecting us in Los Angeles. And it's time we understood what is behind this. So many people in the United States don't really understand what these events are all about. It's not about just a group of concerned citizens expressing their First Amendment rights, going out in the street. These are orchestrated, planned. When you look at the pallets of bricks and cement blocks that were dropped off at these spots so that the rioters would have something to throw. And then on top of that, you notice all of the ones with hoodies on and masks. These are professional rioters that are moving from city to city, paid by organized crime and Soros and others to try to create this havoc in the cities, when all ICE is trying to do is do their job, get illegals out of this country who have no right to be here. This would never happen in any other country. Try this in Mexico. Go down there and see what would happen if you started demonstrating and causing riots and put on masks and were attacking the police and cars. They'd round them all up and throw them in a Mexican prison, and you'd never see them again. Or they would, at the best case scenario, or maybe for the people who drop them, back off and dump them across the U.S. border. But this would never happen in any other country. So thank God that we have a administration and a president and now other members of the administration, Homeland Security and Attorney General and FBI and others who are willing to take on these problems that were created over the last 4 years and attempt to get them straightened out. But keep in mind, it is a joke. The press, the mainstream press, running pictures of burning cars lined up, rioters and picketers throwing bricks and rocks on the windows of police cars coming in, they are breaking them and injuring police officers. And then they say, oh, this is mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful? Come on, do they think we're that stupid? Did they not learn anything from the election in November of last year? What is going on with the minds of the people in our country? So much of it, this is evil, folks. This is not this misguided bunch of people. This is an orchestrated evil campaign carried on by cartels, by foreign groups. The cartels flourished in the last 4 years. They went into billions of dollars of funneling illegals and drugs and human trafficking, and those children that disappeared, 400,000 or more. And the administration of Biden and the group were just, oh, whatever, no big deal. We have open borders, let them come. So it's time we, the people, stood up now and supported our administration. I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or Libertarian, or whatever you might be. It's time we started backing the righteous government who is trying to protect our country and get our streets back being safe. I wanted to share a post that a friend sent to me. This was from an LE, a law enforcement officer on the ground in Los Angeles. And I think it kind of lays out from someone on the ground in the middle of this, telling it like it is. Now, I must say the chief finally of LAPD finally came out today saying that this was not just a demonstration of citizens trying to practice their First Amendment rights, but this was orchestrated, planned campaign with demonstrators and hoodlums coming in from other cities and places, promoting this violence and attempting to create havoc. But now, obviously, it took the military to get in there, and the sheriff are involved in helping, it seems, as well as other federal agencies. But it's very possible that we'll see more military in there if this continues, and it's got to be stamped out at the roots, the people that are funding this and behind it all. But this post tells it like it is, and I think it gives a good take from someone on the ground. And I quote this. I don't know if any of you are enjoying the political intrigue, but what is happening is surreal. That's somebody from the ground. The federal government and the military are literally taking control of Los Angeles and California. The immigration sweeps are the start of a war between the federal government and the drug cartels. Yes, friends, the drug cartels are heavily involved in funding this whole immigration thing. They want to open borders back to keep their business going, and if they can create havoc here, the issue is like what happens in many places when countries fell to supposedly people wanting to help the country, but then became dictators. They would try to create problems where the police would overreact, and then the public would rise up against that, of course. So we haven't seen that, and I'm praying we don't see that. The police and the National Guard, when you were watching those lines on camera, they were professional, holding back no matter what came at them. Now, that's what the real law enforcement does. And it goes on. The drug cartels have been making billions of dollars in California from drugs, smuggling, and human sex trafficking. The cartels are going to fight the federal government to keep those criminal operations going. The feds are bringing in military troops and heavy equipment for the fight in Los Angeles and California. The citizens of Los Angeles and California are stuck in the middle of this fight. But citizens of California, you voted for this. You put these people, Bass as mayor, Newsom as governor, and all these elected politicians. When are you going to wake up, California, and kick these people out and take back control of your state? I don't know. I don't know what it's hoping on. I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm losing my optimism by what I see going on in so many of these blue states who are sanctuary places. The feds, I go on here with this quote. The feds had said these immigration sweeps would last for 30 days, and that was an estimate. We could very well see the U.S. Marines patrolling Los Angeles by next week. We could see our military battling in the streets of Los Angeles against the cartels in the next few weeks. Pay attention to where these protests are happening and stay far away. And he says this, tell your young people not to get involved because of the danger, thinking this is just some great cause. But also because there's a young U.S. attorney in Los Angeles who's spearheading the legal side of this. He is going to make an example of anyone interfering with this operation. They're going to give these protesters long federal sentences. Make sure our young people understand this. This is not the time to get your protest on, young people. Make sure our young people understand this. This is the start of a war between the federal government and the drug cartels operating in Los Angeles and California. This is just the beginning. Friends, what we're seeing in Los Angeles is going to keep escalating as we move towards the midterms, and they're going to do everything they can to try to switch the midterms and get back control of Congress. And then as we approach towards the next presidential election, 2028, do you realize how soon that's going to be here? They're going to be increasing these violent attacks and trying to disrupt and cause civil unrest beyond anything we can imagine. Get informed. Step out of the crowd. Let your voice be heard. Find out what the facts are. Investigate it. Then speak out. Get involved in your local community. Those of you that are in Los Angeles, you should replace most of these city council people. Man, when I see some of these city council people that got on there, I said, how in the world did they get elected? My God, what is going on? Wake up, California. Wake up, Los Angeles. Let's take back our city and the state. Hey, read me your comments on any of the platforms, or you can email me at plittle, P-I, 777 at gmail.com. Let me know what you think. I would like to hear what your thoughts are, what your comments are. Let's get together, let's stand together. Let's get out and let our voices be heard and push back against this evil that is attempting to overthrow our country. Till next time, be safe. May God bless you. May God bless your family. And may God bless America. And we're praying for safety for the law enforcement and all those working against these rioters and violence in Los Angeles. And may this end quickly and peace return to the streets. See you next time.